All right, JJ, you can start us off with Spencer.
Hey, Spencer, how you doing?
How you doing?
Oh, not bad. Thanks for joining us today. How's the spring going so far? You guys are about halfway through.
The spring is going good so far. A lot of new installs coming in. Guys flying around the field, having fun, just playing the game.
Coach was telling us he wanted to try and have the offense have a little bit more scheme to it. Are you seeing that with some of the installs?
Oh yeah, with the installs that we're running, they put in a lot of motion as far as like making the defense adjust and stuff like that. So right now, them working the installment plan with the motions and getting the communications right, everything's just flowing like a well-oiled machine, man.
Hey, Greg.
Spencer, what's it like having such an experienced roster with so many returning guys? How has that sort of changed the spring dynamic for you all?
The spring dynamic, it changed it from a leadership, like a leadership aspect. So a lot of the older guys are taking the younger guys upon their wing, teaching them the ins and outs of what to do and what not to do. Just giving them advice, showing them the ropes. And right now it's just working well. Everybody's getting along well, playing the game and having fun with it.
What do you individually want to get out of this spring period?
What do I individually want to get out of the spring period?
Yeah, how can this help you like grow or develop? What do you want to use these weeks for?
I use these weeks as far as, of course, with the install that we have going in, just working the technique, making sure that I know the playbook in and out, making sure I know it like the back of my hand. So that time when we get on the field, I won't have to pause or make a mistake. I already know, and just make sure I'm being thorough with everything that I do, as far as being fundamentally sound as possible, and just going from there, building from the ground up.
How do you evaluate the offensive line play so far this spring? What jumps out about the group?
We've made huge improvements as far as just as a total aspect, whether it be from extra film, extra work after practice. A lot of guys stay out there and get a lot of work in, and just taking initiative upon ourselves and not having to depend so much on the coaches, even though they do a great job telling us exactly what we need to do, thoroughly explaining as far as details go. But we're taking more initiative upon ourselves to be more locked in and dive into the playbook as much as possible.
I think down the stretch of last year, it felt like you settled into a pretty consistent starting five up front, at least when everybody was healthy. How much does it help to have that same group and have that continuity as you come back?
The continuity is great. Everybody's on one accord. Of course, that goes a long way with chemistry. Of course, the offensive line chemistry. Playing this position, having chemistry is a huge deal, and so bringing that back, that's just a one plus. We love it. We love our guys, of course, and stuff like that. And just across the board, it's made a huge improvement as far as the whole offense and how we communicate.
How confident are you in the depth that you have at the position? It seems like there's a lot of guys there who have played significant snaps in the program.
Yeah, we have a lot of guys that had a lot of experience last year. Of course, they got in the game and played a big, important role. Of course, anytime you get in the game, you have people that you have to block for. Of course, carrying that load on your shoulders is not an easy task. And so them guys stepping up and being in there, that gives them a lot of experience. And that allows the depth. That allows guys to get breaks if they need them. And just give them playing time too, just as far as the rotation works. And that all depends on Coach Maddox and what his plan is and what he has planned out. But as far as that, it helps the depth chart great.
We just got done talking to Jalen Gallimore. What have you seen from him through the spring so far?
Jalen Gallimore, major improvement. Jalen Gallimore, he's a great athlete, great mentor. I look at him almost like an older brother. I mean, that's my guy. So I see all the extra hours that he puts in, watching film, doing extra reps and stuff like that. Him teaching the younger guys and stuff like that. He's just taking on the leadership role as anybody would. I mean, he's doing a fantastic job, and all kudos to him.
Yeah, Coach Traylor was telling us that Jalen's like almost like an extra coach out there with how much he talks and how he pulls some of the younger guys aside.
Jalen has a lot of football knowledge, not just from our offensive line space, just as a whole. He knows the game, and so that's a plus one. And having him on the field is a great asset to the team, and so we attest to him, and I thank him for that.
Do you think, is he usually telling the younger guys like about technique and things, or is it a lot of just like an effort, inspiration kind of stuff? Like what is he usually able to tell them?
He just shares knowledge, man, as far as whether it goes from on the field to off the field. He'll help you with your steps and your fundamentals if you need that. And if you have a life problem or something that's going on, he helps guys with that as well. He's just all around good guy. I mean, well, to us as a whole, I mean, you can ask anybody. I mean, there's very few negative things, if any, that you could possibly say about Jaden Gamble. He's always happy. He's always a good guy, and he brings positive energy. And those are the type of people you want to have on your team. Well, I'm glad, and we're also glad. We're all glad to have him. So.
Given all of those positives that he brings to the program, what has it been like to see? You know, it's taken him 2 years to work his way back into the fold after some of these injury issues. Has it been meaningful for you to see that he's able to get back on the field with all that he went through?
To be honest, I'm happy for him. I'm glad that he's having fun doing what he's doing. Especially he had an unfortunate situation when he went down against UTSA. But he's been working his butt off and his tail off to get back to where he is right now. And right now he's reaping all the benefits of it. And he's never let what happened to him get him in a down motion. Yeah, he may have some bad days. Yeah, everybody has to worry. We're human. But at the same time, he didn't let that stop him and deter him from what he had or what he wanted. And so me seeing that in him, it just gives me hope and spirit every day. It makes me happy to see him happy.
And it seems like for the whole group, you guys came into this spring with a focus on strength and conditioning a little bit more. Why was it important to really lock in on that during this time? What's that emphasis been like?
The strength and conditioning staff is outstanding. Coach Fowler and his staff and what they're doing and what they're about. They've been really locked in as far as where our body goes and how we train. He's added a lot of extra mechanisms to make sure that we work on our flexibility and we're not just lifting. He just wants to make sure that we're in the best shape as possible in order to perform to the highest of our abilities. And that's exactly what they've been doing. Everybody's taking the right. I see a lot of guys getting a lot of extra treatment. Even if they're not hurt, guys just going there and actually taking care of their bodies and investing in themselves. That's what I would call it. That's what it is. They're just investing in themselves. And you can see it from the top of the board to the lowest, man. The whole weight room is just it. You have to be there to actually see. When I tell you, it's a outstanding environment. I mean, guys go in there. Coaches come down there sometimes, and it's just electrifying, man. You got guys jumping off the walls, lifting and stuff like that. It's great, man.
Do you think that's going to make a big bottom line difference on the field, that like the team's going to be in better shape or stronger compared to last season when you look ahead to next year?
Oh, yeah, sir. That COVID period really killed a lot of momentum. But at the same time, we never let it stop what we had going on. We kept pushing. Coach Turler and his staff, they obviously took it into their hands, did the best that they could possibly do with the time that they were given. But now that we have the extra time to actually sit down and have these extra conversations, these extra meetings, these extra weight lift sessions, a lot of guys are really bought into the system and bought into the culture, and they're locked in and they're 100% in. And so with that being said, as far as we're going, the sky's the limit.